Good day, good day, good day. This is a new day for you with Dr. Raoul Richardson, and I promise you some wonderful gifts to start the new year off. And with us today, I've got Taquitia Winn representing the Poor People's Campaign. And I'm so thrilled and delighted because she is a remarkable, remarkable person, high energy, bright, just really, she's going to be sharing some information with all of us about what's going on in our community. And I'm thrilled and delighted. Taquitia, how are you?
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. Glad to be here. It is an honor and a privilege, and I appreciate the time this morning to speak with you and your audience, NspireU. I have some great information to pass, and I know they're ready to hear it.
Oh, great. So who is Taquitia Winn, and what's your role and responsibility as it relates to this PPC organization?
Okay, so yes, I am with the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival. This campaign started with Reverend Dr. Liz Theo-Harris and Reverend Dr. William Barber. They came together and decided that they wanted to pick up Dr. Martin Luther King's Revolution of Values, if you will, from 1968. So they went all across the country to different states, meeting with organizations such as the NAACP and other organizations, ministerial alliances and such, to pull together a fusion movement for us to fight injustices throughout our nation.
Okay, good. And how long have you been with them? And what's your title within that organization, your role?
Oh, yes. Okay, so when they came here, that was in 2017. They came and gave the speech to Alabama. We were on the last foot of their tour. So I've been with them since they started in 2017. They kicked it off in 2018 with our first march on Washington. And I am now currently an executive committee member for the state of Alabama.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for sharing all that with us. So listeners, get ready because they have a lot of stuff going on and there are a lot of tremendous needs in our community. And the Poor People's Campaign is organized, mobilized, and ready to respond to some of those needs in our community. So tell us a little bit about what you guys have going on right now that might be germane to some of the things we're experiencing here on the Gulf Coast. But really, let's face it, you're a national organization. So, I mean, just kick it to us. Tell us what's going on.
Okay, so what we got coming up, February 14th, which is on the Love Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you.
We're all about love here on the New Day for You. So that's right in our wheelhouse. No worries.
That's right. We're going to be sharing some love with the listeners. We hope they're able to tune in Facebook Live on February 14th at 7 p.m. with their loved ones, because we are having a more tour. I don't know if the listening audience of Mobile, Alabama remembers, but Reverend Dr. Barber and Liz Theo-Harris was here in 2020, right at the end of Mardi Gras, right before COVID hit. So they came here and did a more tour in person. This time we're going to have it, because of COVID, we're going to have it online. So we're going to have Facebook Live and YouTube. So as many platforms that we can stream it on, we will. But the more tour is mobilize, organize, register, and educate. We are in an election year, so we are trying to get ourselves mobilized and ready to vote. So again, that's February 14th at 7 p.m. And we'll have more details for that on our Facebook page.
Awesome, awesome. I'm glad you told people what the MORE stands for, because we get used to using alphabet soup because we might be really involved with these organizations, but that really helps them understand. Because here at NspireU on Air, the new beat of the day, we often talk about informing, entertaining, and inspiring. So I'm sure that our loyal listeners are not completely unfamiliar with those kind of acronyms. So tell us some more. So before I forget that, why does the Poor People Campaign exist? What's the thrust of their mission and vision?
Okay, so as I mentioned before, Reverend Barber and Reverend Liz Theo Harris, they wanted to take up Dr. Martin Luther King's Revolution of Values. And what that means is we're trying to transform this nation. We are facing a lot of different moral issues, and we want to change that moral narrative. So we have a lot of interlocking injustices that we are trying to fight all at the same time, because they need to be addressed all at once. And this is systemic racism, poverty, ecological devastation, the war economy, militarism, and the distorted moral narrative of religious nationalism. So all of these things need to be addressed at the same time. We can't pick and choose one over the other. And that is why we are trying to come together and create a fusion movement. Keep in mind, the Poor People's Campaign, it is just that. It is a campaign. It is not an organization. It is not a nonprofit. We are working with the organizations and the religious organizations, fraternal sorority organizations, nonprofits that are fighting for justice. We are right alongside them. We want to join in their efforts to fight these interlocking injustices.
You know, it's really cool because I remember when I first got introduced to the Poor People's Campaign, one of the things that was really topical for me was this idea of a real living wage. And now, of course, we see within the context of the COVID-19 or Omicron or whatever comes next, a lot of employers are now, having been compelled to a certain degree because they've been unable to hire people, offering a real living wage that people can actually live on, which is something you guys have been talking about for a few years. That
Yes.
People should be, earning a salary that they can actually function on, and that $750 may not get it done for a family of four. So that's certainly one of the ones that I tuned in with right away.
Yeah, the fight for 15 is very important. Speaking of which, there's something else going on in the state of Alabama that's very important. I don't know if the listeners are familiar, but I know they're very well informed, so they probably did hear about it. The Amazon workers in Birmingham, in Bessemer, Alabama, had a chance to unionize. I want to say it was last year. And what occurred was some inappropriate behavior on behalf of the company that allowed the workers at that facility to get another chance to vote. So they're doing
that. The National Labor Relations Board came out with some kind of a judgment against the organization.
Yes. So they are doing, they're going to get a chance to vote again. So we are putting our full support behind the Amazon workers in Bessemer, Alabama. They're going to get, I think it starts this week, they get a chance to vote for the union again. And this time we know that they will be successful without any interference. So keep your eyes out for that. Support them if you can. And there'll be more coming out about that on our state page, Alabama Poor People's Campaign state page.
Okay. And I think I've seen some of the other activities and efforts that are currently going on with you guys as it relates to the environment and healthcare. All those things impact every segment of our community, not just here on the Gulf Coast, but across the nation, whether it's, extreme meteorological events or whether it's dealing with the absence of qualified healthcare for people to be able to get the preventive type measures that they need.
Absolutely. Again, like I said, it's a fusion movement, and we have to fight all these interlocking injustices all at once. So our work is never done, and there is always something. So we are in the middle of right now working with the NAACP and Stand Up Mobile to try to assist or encourage the city of Mobile to do the right thing in redistricting the city to make sure that the majority minority here in the city actually remains, and they're not gerrymandering the district. And we also are working with the organization here in Mobile, Homeless in Mobile, because of an ordinance that is making it illegal to camp or sleep or store or items in public places. So we are fighting alongside Homeless in Mobile and others in that action. There's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, and we need to come together to fight these evils.
Wow, that's tremendous. And those are things that are happening right now. This idea about the redistricting and this homeless activity, and how do we respond to it in a way that's fair and just. And needless to say that while there's so much going on as a result of, infrastructure bills and midterm elections and things of that sort, we need to make sure that we find a way to address the needs of people all across the community. So I'm excited about that. So I'm not sure how you even had the time to take this time to be with us here on NspireU on air, with all the things that you guys have your hands in and involved in that are really, really high intensity and timely. But I'm almost afraid to ask, but what does the future look like for the Poor People's Campaign? I see you've got you mentioned to me you've got an event coming up in June of this year, kind of a national mobilization effort. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I really, like I said, I'm really happy to be on with you today, because I know your listeners are super engaged. The NspireU family is awesome. So I had to make sure not to let this opportunity pass me by to get on and speak with y'all today. So thank you so much for having me. But yes, we have a full schedule. And what we have coming up in June is our Mass Poor People's Low Wage Workers Assembly in Washington, D.C. We want you to join us June 18th, 2022. We hope that we can get all, everyone from all walks of life, every organization that we have locked hands with, to join us on June 18th, 2022 in DC.
Wow. So, I mean, today is Saturday, the 12th. You've got an event on the 14th that you want us to try to make certain we get to. You've got efforts to address homelessness within the community. You've got efforts to address these redistricting lines. And then, somewhere in the middle of all that, isn't it time for the Selma March? I mean,
yes, we will be there. We will be there. That is actually coming up the weekend of March 4th through 6th. So Sunday is the crossing of the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And we will be doing something on the 7th, but the details are not lined up just yet, so I won't be able to share those with you. But if you're able to, please check the local page here in Mobile. We have a Poor People's Campaign Mobile page on Facebook, and we also have a state page, Alabama Poor People's Campaign state page. If you check those pages, we should have updated information on all of these events. We really need your help in taking action in those items that I mentioned locally. Remember, local is the most important of all governances. So please be involved in your city government, your state government. It is very, very important, not just the national election. So we need you to come out to the city council meetings that they have on Tuesdays. Come at 10:30 and get you a good seat. But listen to what they're presenting. This ordinance is making it illegal publicly and privately for our homeless to be able to sleep or camp or anything. So where would they go? I mean, we need to be able to come together and fight these issues brought on. So March 2nd, the city council will meet in discussion on the urban camping ordinance. And I think that'll be around 2:30 is when that time happens for that meeting. But we really need you to come out. The next city council meeting, I believe, is the 15th, February 15th.
Mhm.
Then the next one will be the 22nd and March 1st. If we can get people to come out and attend those city council meetings, we will be greatly appreciative.
Wow, that's a lot of great information you're sharing with us. You know, it's interesting that, you know, how much our missions and values align to be able to get this information out to the community. We're so grateful for you coming on with us. For those of you that are just joining us, I am Dr. Raoul Richardson, and this is A New Day for You on NspireU on Air, the new Beat of the Bay. And we're here having a conversation with my friend, Miss Taquitia Winn, who's an executive committee member of the Poor People's Campaign, a moral march for poor people, low-wage workers, and assembly, which is going to be coming up in June of 2022. But before then, she's got her hands on a lot of the going-ons that are happening right here in Mobile, Alabama, in terms of our sensitivity and coming up with policies and approaches to addressing the increasing number of people that are homeless across our nation, not just Mobile and the Gulf Coast. And of course, February 14th, you've got a virtual meeting. Then we've got the Selma March. And then, you know, it's your plate is packed, G. I mean, really. I mean, how do people get in touch with you? If there are people that are listening, if our loyal listeners are checking in, tuning in right now, how do they get in touch with you? How do they get engaged? How do they, because at the very first step, regardless of what side they choose, they have to be informed. And you guys are affording them the opportunity to get the information so they can see how they can participate and arrive at some understanding about how we respond to these needs in the community. So you mentioned the state page and the local page. And is there any other information you want to share with them in terms of getting in touch with you so they can begin to be part of this mobilized, organized campaign?
Of course, of course. We can always receive communication through the Facebook page messengers. Excuse me. We can always receive communication through that, but we also have an email that is alppcmobile@gmail.com. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, say it again.
alppcmobile@gmail.com. That's Alabama Poor People's Campaign.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, I guess you're gonna be coming back to share some of this information because you done loaded my whole calendar up. And you know, I wanted to mention to you, I don't know if you were aware of it, but here at NspireU on Air, we have this page called NspireU Cares. And we kind of organize and come together a lot of organizations, nonprofits, people doing good work in the community, and they network together and share ideas and talk about some of the challenges they have. And you may find some more linkages there. And I want to encourage you to sign up, you know, for our NspireU Cares platform and get engaged. Most of the meetings as of now, you get emailed a Zoom link to attend. So that should be able to afford you the flexibility you need, given as busy as you are.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, please plug me in. Like I said, this is we network throughout the city, and we are trying to get ourselves involved in every aspect of the work here that needs to be done in the city. So we definitely want to be involved.
Well, thank you so much. Well, folks,
thank you for having me.
This has been Ms. Taquitia Winn from the Poor People's Campaign, addressing so many of the issues that are important to everyone in our community, from homelessness to redistricting, to healthcare, to living wages. I'm just thrilled and delighted and more than excited that you could be here with us today on A New Day for You on NspireU on Air, the new Beat of the Bay. And don't forget to hit her up at alppcmobile@gmail.com. Did I get that right?
Yes, awesome.
All right, you bet. All right, so folks, don't you dare move. We're gonna be right back with more information. And if you have thoughts that you wanna share with us, please hit us up on the platform and let us know. and we'll be looking forward to catching up with you then. Thanks a bunch. Bye-bye.